I am not going to give a speech or anything as such, but I want to just share few incidents and a few things what happened in the life and how it has been a kind of a part of the whole the movement, how it is converted as a movement like. See, you everybody we know about the manual scavenging, how it is, where it is, and I don't need to explain today as if that how the manual scavenging happens in the country because past 40 years of the Safai Karmachari Andolan and efforts made the people to understand, and the government efforts also made people to actually to look back and what is the status of the scavenging in the country. But the problem here is that has not completely vanished, the problem which we are talking about. And we also started, we have a habit of actually to celebrate anything that has gone, this has gone, we have achieved this. So we are coming to the celebration mode while the women still cleaning the human excreta in the few parts of the country. That is a very painful, which whenever somebody talks about any awards and the rewards or anything, which comes to my mind is actually how a human being or the citizen of this country still carrying or why should she has to clean the human excreta. That comes and that disturbs a lot. And one is important which we have to think about when we talk about the scavenging, the self-respect and dignity, which is the most important, which how it has completely vanished or that destroyed, or made a kind of a conspiracy to take away from the people. That we have to understand. And this whole life from my childhood, like example, when we were in the primary school till now, we have not made as a such a strategies or a design to eradicate or do that. But the only thing is responded the any realities whichever is comes to our mind. My submission today is how do the students or youngsters or the citizens of this country, how far we are preparing ourselves to address the issues which we face here. How do we actually make the government as accountable as much as possible in this endeavor? These two, if we can understand, that is a true understanding about the Andolan, Safai Karmachari Andolan. And there is nothing significant to tell in about my life. There is only one thing which I can have to always remember myself, and I want to say to the everyone, when there is a something completely, like example, the generations together, the families are engaged in such a obnoxious, inhuman, and even very difficult to say that we are this. Your own identity disturbs you in such a humiliating way. Your identity makes you to so depressed. Your identity makes you vulnerable to go in front of anybody. So you have to share or you have to hide yourself, the identities. Such circumstances, how do we react? Why do we react? How courage we are to break that? That is what exactly the whole history of the Safai Karmachari Andolan and some parts of my life also. Of course, I can accept that. But the thing is, when the whole world is thinking about that you are a son of the scavenger and you are like this, and this scavenging is actually makes the people life so difficult situations, like then they have the pictures. When you say or talk or you call one person with the caste name or the bangi or something like, you have already created an image. The images, whatever you have, that is a completely false images which you created by the out of your casteist and the patriarchal mindset. When you develop that, that is then a systematically you have inserted on the minds and the heart of the victims also. So the you make whatever you believe, which is a completely myth. That myth you systematically, the society as in a majority, you will put into the minds and the hearts of the certain marginalized people, make their life and the future completely a kind of in a darkness or the vulnerability. how the vulnerability systematically is throwing it on the others. That we have to understand. When we say that Indian constitution, we are all the people and there is a fraternity. And where is the fraternity here? We make a certain section of the people as a branded like. There is a brand like the caste, brand like the patriarchy, brand like the religious minorities and many things. This is a total problem of the society. So in such circumstances, we have taken that into our shoulder very openly, stated very clearly why we become like this. I have not become a scavenger, but you want to brand me a scavenger. And you want to believe strongly that your belief system you are throwing on me, and I also must accept that. The only thing is the protest and the resistance of me and my life is I have never accepted whatever the belief system, the false belief system which you developed. I don't believe that the caste system, such a system which you throw on me, or you say that the women who are cleaning the shit of the children can also clean the shit after somebody more, and you make the women as a scavenger. These two I want to just discard and state very clearly that I am not a scavenger, and if you want to brand me, I will not going to accept that. So if somebody says that you are a son of the scavenger or something, I do accept with the proud, and I come out and say, so what? So what? I have not chosen this. You made me a scavenger, and you want to make your own drama and your own politics and your own culture and your own heritage, everything. And you have to really respect your own culture and my respect about my own identity. You have to take away this kind of a practices from the human society. That is not happening. Second important thing which I want to make very clearly, when we accept and start working or looking into the actually any kind of a social problems to come out, like a women scavenger, there is no such kind of a struggle or the anything before. Once we started thinking about this, why it is happening, the women large in number they have come out. Their numbers to count is a very difficult. And how they have come, we have not created any momentum to come out all those things. Every individual in their life, they are struggling for their own identities and their own success. What is their success? The scavenging women throwing the basket, burning the basket, and coming out and stating very openly that we are all one, don't make brand anything. That is a courageous step she has taken. That kind of a courageous steps we are making as one unit or a form of the movement. And here one thing which we have to say, and that we have learned from the Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So despite of the practices which makes your life is a vulnerable, as a B.R. Ambedkar never had a kind of a hatredness. And when it is a time of constitution drafting, and you can see in the constitution whatever draft he has, and his writings and teachings and the speeches and speech in the constituent assembly, you cannot find out even a one single moment where Ambedkar has made an hatred anything. See, despite of facing the problem, there is a human value within the every human being. You can really come out of the all these forms of the hatredness, and whatever treatment you receive, you no need to give back that, but you can prove a truth on the society, love, affection, fraternity, that can create a best and the better human society. That is what is the Baba Saheb Ambedkar did. That is what is the women scavengers of this country. Never had any kind of a such kind of a fight between them. They do consult, they do discuss, they do negotiate, they do go and demand with the elected governments, saying very clearly, as a citizen, I have a right to live as a free citizen. So I can't be a scavenger forever like this. These are the messages the women has given to the great country of the India. That we must learn from them. How can we actually take back and look back the way the country or the society today is going on? How do we make a society? The society where is the fraternity, where there is a love, where there is a concern of each other, that we must learn today. I can openly state that the women scavengers has given a message. We made them to clean our shit, but they came and they started asking us, we want a freedom and we want a democracy. We want to find the solution within the framework of the within the Indian constitution and a democratic way. That is the greatest message ever. No one has given for this country. We must be open to understand the pain of the women scavenger, how she is struggling even today in across the country. There are the issues of the sewage and septic tank deaths across the country are happening every day. And within the 3 days, when the 14 deaths happened very recently, we appealed and we have stated, but there is a completely silence. And the people says very clearly that there is a silence called the criminal silence. Why do we keep quiet? When 2,000 people in the great country, when they die in the sewage and septic tank, we don't have even a single word to say and show our solidarity. And there is no one is coming and giving any kind of a statement that how are we going to prevent the deaths in the sewage and septic tank. These are then a silent spectators like we everybody as a society. This is not the way of the society to move. The society has to progress and society has to democratize even every moment of the life. And we have to learn to live the democratic life, and the same life we have to bring it to the society. That is not happening. So in such circumstances, in society, there is an unrest. And we say that the prism and the beyond the prism, which means what? Despite of the completely such a situation, the people coming out, showing a kind of a colorful. What is the colorful? Love, affection, concern, democratic values, progressiveness. These are the best values of the prism which can give it to the society. That is what is the most marginalized minorities, the voiceless people of this country when they are all giving. The people, the people, we must open ourselves and we have to show clearly our solidarity, accept what we have done the wrong and go back. As our my friend Comrade Ajit Singh said in one place very clearly, we have to now understand that this world is not going to destroy by the any kind of a virus or the corona or anything, but it is going to destroy when there is no love, affection, concern, democratic values, and instead of that, once there is a hatredness. My dear friends, my appeal to you all, we must develop in a life where there should not be any hatredness. I am telling from my own life experience, despite having so much kind of hurdles in the life, still we do have a hope that there is a day, the day will come, there we can actually feel everybody, we are all one. We must feel that we are all one. And as a nation, we have to understand every person, wherever there is a hunger, poverty, and illiteracy, inequality, we have to fight against all. And if our GDP goes up, no use. And somebody may get benefit out of that. But how it is going to actually translate or transform the society, how it is going to change the society, how it is going to make a social impact on the most marginalized. This we have to take it forward. The mission, the vision of the people who have given a life for the Indian freedom should not go waste. We have to take the charge. And we the people, we the citizens of this great country, we have a power to do that. And we have to show that power when we actually build the nation, when we actually make our own democracy more vibrant. To make the democracy more vibrant, let us enjoy the freedom, equality, liberty, and fraternity